Hello everybody, this is Gruesome Fox coming at you with a 700 cost rated match here in the Zeta Gundam 3P2 type, also known as the Red Zeta. We're going to be on Underground Base for this match here, and this is a round that I meant to post last week, but ended up postponing it due to my high mobility camper video. So what was meant to be last week's Wednesday video ended up being this week's Wednesday video instead. And I did, before I kind of get into the main point for this video here, I did want to give a brief update on the high mobility camper because the video I made was on the level 2 550 cost variant, and recently I got the level 1 500 cost variant. So now that I have the native version of the high mobility camper, I'm really looking towards doing a follow-up to the last video with that level of the suit, mainly because one of the things I mentioned with the high mobility camper is that it's a really fun suit, but it's just like, you know, trying to learn the ropes with it and try to find the right strategies with it. That's kind of what the main point of that video was. I'm hoping that now that I have the native cost version, I can maybe get some better experience with it and perform better with the suit, which so far it has been okay. I've gotten some pretty decent matches, still not exactly what I'm aiming for in terms of results. It's been a bit hit or miss, so yeah, I'm hoping to do a follow-up on the High-Mo camper at some point, but yeah, that's really what I wanted to say on that side of things. So yeah, going back to the main video here, the Red Zeta at Underground Base. Yeah, Underground Base was just in rotation. It was 700 costs, and I immediately just locked in to play it and tried to see if I could get some, you know, decent matches with it. And my suit of choice was the Red Zeta, mainly because the Red Zeta is smaller than most of the regular 700 picks, so I was hoping I would have a bit of a size advantage just being a bit smaller and being able to hide behind buildings. I should mention that the Red Zeta, well, not only is the Red Zeta a raid, I should bring that up too, but the Red Zeta that I have here is the level 2 variant for 700. I do not yet have the 650 and native cost version, so the 700 cost variant has been my main exposure to the Red Zeta, my main usage of it, and I really gotta say, I love I almost said the Red Zeta, I guess that's not wrong, but I meant the Red Zeta. I really like the Red Zeta at 700. I've really been enjoying it ever since I tried the suit out, and Underground Base here, it went really well because the Red Zeta does some amazing melee damage and just also has a really nice kit of weapons in general. But even in other maps I've played, the Red Zeta at 700, it just has really been working out for me to the point that I've kind of started using this as my main 700 raid. Like if I have to pick a raid suit, I just kind of end up going with the Red Zeta now. So yeah, I really do like the suit. You have a lot of really good skills on it, but the main skill that you get with the suit is the Psycho Neutralizer. This activates when you're at 30% HP, and it boosts your mobility and extends Saikumo lock-on time by 250%, so really good for 700 because you do have a good number of suits with Saikumo lock-on weapons, so that is going to make it harder for them to lock onto you. The damage you take is also reduced by 50%, and it reduces range weapon reload and overheat recovery time by 50%. So a really amazing skill to have on this suit, and again, just having that neutralizer with the Saikumo lock-on weapons is also very nifty to have at this cost. So yeah, really some nice benefits using the Red Zeta, and a part of me really questions why I don't see this suit more at 700. Maybe there's just, you know, some better 700 raid picks out there though. You know, like you have the Wing Zero here that, you know, hit me with the kick while phasing for a pillar, but I have heard that suit's pretty good for the most part, and there are some other, you know, good 700 raids as well, so maybe the Red Zeta, just compared to them, doesn't hold up as well. I just, you know, probably I wouldn't know myself because I don't think I have a lot of the current 700 raids, so Kind of the Red Zeta here has been my go-to because I don't have a whole lot of other options. I do have the Zaku 4 IP, which probably would have worked pretty well on this map, but again, really wanted to go with the objective of playing something smaller so I could like stay behind the buildings a lot better, and the Zaku 4 IP is just a very, very big suit, so I wasn't sure how well it would go on this map, but Red Zeta, right now getting a ram on the Moon Gundam, yeah, again, went pretty well for the most part. I think this right here is the only time I really use the transformation to any type of effect, and at the end of it I do get knocked over by a Jirobi beam, so a bit of a fumble there, but otherwise, doing good for the most part. There is the wing 0. I think I did try to go for a tackle, but I just couldn't get it in time, so did end up getting knocked over, but right now we do have that Psycho Neutralizer, which means, yeah, we are going to be taking way less damage. Did try to go for the G doors, but instead got a downswing on the Salsabi, and that's going to be the end of me, at least for now, until I respawn. But yeah, 700 underground base, just kind of talking about this situation as a whole. Yeah, it gets very chaotic, which is part of the reason I wanted to hop on this lobby when I saw it in rotation. Just really felt like playing some 700 underground base and kind of just having a very chaotic match with it. So I know ended up being a lot of fun, which is nice since sometimes when these matches get very chaotic, it can be stressful depending on how things are going. This one here, it did end up being a relatively enjoyable match, so yeah, really glad that, it was that situation. It was a more positive scenario instead of one where it would be, maybe a bit more stressful. But right now, the score is getting pretty close. I do see the enemy team's Double Zeta seems to be going for our base, so I can only assume that, the Double Zeta may have been trying to damage our base, since that does seem to be a pretty common technique with the Double Zeta ever since it got its recent unit adjustment. Yeah, the Double Zeta, like the base Double Zeta, can just do a lot of damage to bases nowadays, so again, really seems to be a common strategy where they'll try to destroy the base with their various weapons, but it does seem like we were able to stop them. The only issue is it did leave room for the entire enemy team to also show up, which is, again, just kind of playing into the chaotic aspect here. A lot of 700 suits, they are just a lot bigger, so I don't think they were really made for a map this small, so yeah, really leads to it being a bit cramped here on the base side, but we are kind of splitting up now and making some distance, but hey, it's going to be timeout mission over. Let's see how we did here on this 700 cost match in the Red Zeta. And got a mission complete, got some good works in the side there. And yeah, didn't get anyone on the board, but I beat my rival. And we'll see what the stats are here. Third place with 3 kills and 2 loss. And got some pretty alright stats as well going above there. Pretty similar to the last video I did with the Yagdoga QA. Also got 3rd place in that one as well. So it seems like it's the rule of 3 this week. But yeah, that's going to be everything for this video here. As I mentioned at the beginning, just a match I really wanted to get out, but just ended up pushing it back due to the high mobility camper video I did. So really glad I could just kind of get it out now of all times. So yeah, really glad with the way it came out. And again, the Red Zeta, I think it's a really fun suit. So yeah, that's everything I have for this video here. Comment down below what you think about the Red Zeta, or maybe more interestingly to hear about, what do you think about 700 underground base? What is your experience with that cost and map combination? Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.